Life is a struggle. We've heard that a lot, right? Everybody's struggles are different. I think of Mob Rules. Mob Rules went through a hell of a struggle. I think he said 6 months out of work with spinal leakage. Went to North Carolina to be operated on. That improved things substantially. He was able to go back to work. Got into a slightly different position than he's in, getting hours and the money he needs. And then he said that he had bought a refrigerator at Home Depot, and in less than 2 days it quit working. Then had a hassle with the management saying you could return it in 48 hours, and it was 48 hours, and the guy didn't know how to do basic math. He finally got a refund and went to Best Buy and bought a different fridge, and something went out on the car. And now, because I have not asked permission, I can say that E-Rock is struggling with something, and he's asked for prayer to me. And if you can think about praying for him, please do. And now everybody knows what happened to me right when I was doing okay. Never thought I'd lose my job for stating a fact. And that was a major setback. That prompted me to sell the truck, not because I was in debt. I'm like, well, if things are going to come down and I can't get work, we need to get rid of all the boat anchors. And some people don't know how to do that. When you're struggling, let go of the bills. Let go of the bills. Turn off the cable. Get rid of the Starbucks. Get rid of all the stupid toys you don't need, and you can make it. Good morning, X. Welcome. 2 months without pay. And I was angry. I was angry dealing with two women. The superintendent and the head of HR, especially when HR would call me, "Hi, how are you doing?" Nothing ripped me open more than that. Professional. And I've said it and I'll say it again. Professional is a way of acting. Professional is not from the heart. Professional is not real. It's a game you play to keep your job, to get ahead, to kiss butt, to ladder up. That's all it is. We've said this. Every American is familiar with this. When you got to hook up Communist Cast /Xfinity, they keep changing the name because they get a bad reputation. That's why they do it. And people say, Mike, that's not true. It is to me. They changed the name to make it look like something else. Communist Cast has got so many people buying their product and the rates go up and up and up. If I wanted to get internet at the house, I could call them up and have it done in less than 10 minutes. But the minute you got a complaint, you're routed through a labyrinth and a maze that a mouse with 10 tons of cheese on the other side cannot get to. We're really sorry. Due to an unusual high call volume, how come you never have that when I'm trying to get service hooked up? Why is that? Corporations don't care. HR doesn't care. Superintendents don't care. They've got, and I like what my uncle said about Democrats. The mentality of Democrats is, I've got mine, screw you. That's the truth. And the same it is with HR, same it is with these women that play their little, "How are you today, Michael Nelson?" Let's see, you've had my job on hold for 2 months. No, they had the job on hold for 20 days. It took you 20 days. And what was funny or ironic is they moved from the original complaint about the video of me defending the white woman and then moved into 4 shorts where I played creepy music and she even spelled it out. He had the music Creepy Doll playing, and though he did not say anything or make threats at the schools or people feel unsafe. Oh, so now, even though what you just said should disavow that, because somebody feels unsafe, but did you morons care about the blacks that made threats on my life like in the shop, one that took 20 years to fire his sorry behind, cheating on his wife, cheating at the company, not putting in an honest day's work. Hey, Jeff. Seki, I got you, Jeff. Yeah, I was upset. So where am I going with this? I don't want to rehash all this. They're having problems. They can't get monitors. They can't keep drivers. They can't do anything. Management's busy firing people and they can't get it straight, and they never will because they're not professional. Professional to me, what I see in the corporate world is it's acting and playing games. They're showing favoritism based on the color of one's skin and letting somebody take a education board vehicle home and still can't show up at work on time. And people were telling me that all the work I did is not getting done now. I said, well, you know what? You play dumb games, you get dumb prizes. Now the buses aren't getting repaired on the seats. I think it's freaking awesome. You know, I'm not that powerful, but I have been praying that God would move his hand against the foolishness of this management and that things would get worse. And that the Board of Education will step in and start firing people like superintendent, HR, and the people director of transportation because they can't get it together. But anyways, and I have prayed that God will deal with people. And sometimes it's taken years. Sometimes it took the next day. That guy at the shop that threatened me and harassed me on a continual basis, I got to the point where I said, God, move your hand against him. And the very next day, he had an accident due to his own negligence, playing with his phone on a bus, destroyed the bus. And yet it took management 2 months to fire him. Any driver had done that, they would have been terminated that day. And this organization wants to talk about fairness and equity. It doesn't exist. And it took them 2 months to fire him because he was a black man, not a solid worker, not a good mechanic, just somebody who fooled around and wasted company time chasing girls and screwing around and harassing people like me. And it bothers me. We've talked about this before. The unrighteous seem to prosper all around us. Now I'm employed, things have calmed down. And you know, it says in the Bible, man is born to trouble as the sparks fly upward. It seems that life is cruel. You start to get ahead, you start to feel good, and wham, here comes another one. You get a bill paid off, and then your air conditioner unit blows, or your car goes on the fritz, or whatever. I would live in Argentina, especially those mountains down there. They're beautiful. I know Argentina has some beautiful women and beautiful clothing. Well, good for you, Ethan. That's awesome. I got a good supervisor now. I'm very pleased with him. He seems to be well adjusted and knows how to manage people, as well as dish out praise. When I worked in transportation, I did not get that. Y'all work for places, all they do is criticize you but never praise you for what you did do. And while they were doing that, the ones that are the biggest company screw-ups were getting awards and achievement awards when they were horrible employees. That's good, Ethan. And that's awesome. No, I don't want that. How do I get rid of this? Okay, I don't know why I put this, but I don't know how to get rid of it. How do you get rid of this? Can't get rid of it. Hello, Neat. So it's asking, it might be on the screen. What is your go-to comfort food? Is that showing up? It's saying try the question and answer. So I did it. I don't know if that was a mistake. Has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but hey. Thank you, Neat. I appreciate that. It is always good to hear from you. How do I get rid of this question and answer thing? I don't want this, and I can't get rid of it. That's dumb. Hello, Adam. Does it show a question and answer in the chat at all? Ethan, I can't talk about that due to trolls. I cannot talk about that anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, and I'm sorry about that. I mean, you have to be careful today because unfortunately, we saw what happened to Charlie Kirk. He told the truth. And Tyler Robinson, a young little jerk, felt like he didn't have a right to speak. And that's what's happening today. Man, how do I get rid of this stupid questions and answers thing? I do not want this. Drag here to end. Let's try it again. Oh my gosh, this is stupid. Wow, it will not, you drag it, it doesn't do anything. There you go. Bye, Felicia. Stupid. I don't like YouTube suggesting all these things. It's like, let me run my channel, YouTube. All right, enough of that. I want to work for the Department of Assessing Blame. I told somebody the other day, hello, James. How are you? What's new and exciting in your universe? As you see, I've got the munchies. I found my stash. Neats, if you're still here, I hope you have an awesome Durban day. Y'all notice social media now? They'll have a Facebook reel or a YouTube video showing that Yemen struck Israel, like it just happened yesterday. And you're like, oh my gosh. And then you find out it's AI or it's a news story from 3 months ago. What's going on with all that? Y'all notice that? James, I'm sorry about that. Neeks, come on over here. I'll feed you. I hate it too. Our pastor was saying that he likes Chat APT. I don't even like that. He said, I can ask Chat APT anything. Man, I remember the days when you had Encyclopedia Britannica. You wanted to find an answer, you had to do research. Now, I appreciate the internet because of ease of access. But AI is changing art, changing music. It could take my voice, my picture, put a video out there. And guess what? People think, oh my gosh, did you hear what Mike's saying? I didn't say that. Yeah, it is. I didn't say that. I'm going to do what the Apostle Paul says. If we or somebody else or an angel from heaven tells you another channel is mine and my voice, this is the only place I'm at. Don't believe it. James, here's the bad news and the good news about AI. The jobs that most of us in this room are doing cannot be replaced by AI. Physical, work-based jobs, HVAC, plumbing, construction, warehousing, driving vehicles, not going to be replaced. That's right, Jeff, and they weren't cheap for a set. Now, people give them away and nobody wants them. AI is just proof that we've gotten very stupid. You ever notice when you chat and you go to type something, that auto spell check is messed? If I try to write something in Tagalog, it's putting it back in English. It's like, this is Tagalog, leave it alone. I wish there was a way to turn that off. Now, there's things that are awesome. When I was communicating on my laptop to Quan Phone in Thailand, I could get English to Thai. You type in that box what I should type in English, put it in Thai font, copy and paste, throw it in the messenger. Quan Phone, wow, all this time we talk and I didn't know you know Thai. I said, I don't. I'm using a translator on the internet. And she had been doing that. And it just was so awesome because I could say, she would read it in her language and there was no language barrier. You know, it's interesting. You go back to Genesis, the Tower of Babel, and people said, let us do this so we can become one and God will not scatter us. Why did people think God was going to scatter them? The Tower of Babel, and God wasn't going to have it. They were trying to build a utopia without God, and God said, oh, we're not doing this. Now we have Babel. Now we have Rosetta Stone. Now we have all these. Language is no longer a barrier. You got a phone. I go to China and you get that app, and I could say something into the app to a woman who speaks nothing but Mandarin, and the phone would ask her in Mandarin. I mean, it's crazy now. And the world is headed back to Babel. Think about it. We're headed back to that. Man's going to get the Antichrist. We're going to be one world government. Things are lining up into place, folks. Things are lining up into place. Why has the chat stopped? Can anybody hear me? Have we lost contact, Houston? Earth below us drifting. Yeah. There we go. I don't know how to say your name, Koyarose. Thank you. Packy, I haven't heard of that. No, I don't want to try the question sticker. Get out of here. What makes this addicting is those little itty bitty chocolate pieces in there. Look at that. I haven't heard about that, but they said there's an asteroid floating around out there that has so much gold in it that everybody in the world could be rich off of it. Well, guess what, folks? You ain't going to get a piece of that. The Bible talks about something that very well could be a meteorite or an asteroid in the future. Let's hit it. And the third angel sounded, and a great star fell from heaven, burning like a torch. And it fell on a third of the rivers and on the springs of waters. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. And a third of the waters became wormwood, and many men died from the waters because they were made bitter. You can say what you want, but that sounds like a meteorite. It's got something in it. When it hits that part of the earth, it's going to pollute and destroy the waters. There's another one that talks about one hitting the ocean and turning it, destroying sea life and the ships and everything else. The tribulation is not going to be a fun event. Nobody's going to be standing there doing selfies when this stuff comes down. You know what, Packy? Now that I think, yes, Neeks, it is good. Am I making you all mouth-watering there, Neeks? What's up tonight? Man, I wish you could. Wasabi ninjas. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a gal, a woman. It would. Hugging and holding hands is awesome, especially when you haven't had it. I don't believe in aliens, but however, when the rapture happens, you know for a fact that the media, being the way it is going to go off on that and say they were snatched away by ETs. It'll happen. It will happen. Yeah, and Packy, the fact is, there's some stuff coming in Revelation that is downright, apocalyptic. It is crazy. The fact is, you got a whole bunch of people in our society today that laugh at this book. They think it's funny. They think it's a joke. They'll believe in godless, non-scientific evolution. They'll believe in global warming. They'll say that the oceans have risen, but strangely, the Atlantic, right around the base of the Statue of Liberty, hasn't risen at all. But a woman said, "Oh, I have articles that prove the ocean's risen in other parts of the world." Dumb woman. If one part of the ocean rises, the entire world is connected by the ocean. Look at what you're saying, and you want to tell me that I don't believe in science. Just blows me away. The sheer stupidity of those that claim to be educated. Many people thought that, Packy, but I don't think that's the case. Ezekiel has some fanciful descriptions, but you have to understand that Ezekiel saw what he'd never seen. He's seeing creatures that God made, or angels, angelic beings, and he saw things that he was describing them in the best way he knew how. It would be like if you were to go back to the days of Noah before he built the ark. Can you imagine walking across the desert and you see something like the Titanic just sitting on the ground? Nobody would know what that is. They'd be like, what the heck is that? Big four smokestack. Nobody would know what it is. I believe it was a real event. Now came about the 30th year on the 5th day of the 4th month, while I was by the river Chebar among the exiles, the heavens were open and I saw visions of God. On the 5th of the month and the 5th of the year of King Jehoiakim's exile, the word of the Lord came expressly to Ezekiel the priest, son of Buzi, in the land of the Chaldeans by the river Chebar, and there the hand of the Lord came upon him. And as I looked, behold, a storm wind was coming from the north, a great cloud with fire flashing forth continually, and a bright light around it, and in its midst something like glowing metal in the midst of the fire. And within it there were figures resembling 4 living beings, and this was their appearance. They had human form. Each of them had 4 faces and 4 wings, and their legs were straight, and their feet were like a calf's hoof, and they gleamed like burnished bronze. Under their wings, on their 4 sides, were human hands. As for the faces and wings of the 4 of them, their wings touched one another. Their faces did not turn when they moved. They went straight forward. As for the form of their faces, each had the face of a man. All 4 had the face of a lion on the right, the face of the bull on the left, and all 4 had the face of an eagle. Such were their faces. Their wings were spread out above. Each had 2 touching another being and 2 covering their bodies. And each went straight forward. Wherever the Spirit was about to go, they would go without turning as they went. In the midst of the living beings, there was something that looked like burning coals of fire, like torches darting back and forth among the living beings. The fire was bright and lightning was flashing from the fire, and the living beings ran to and fro like bolts of lightning. Now, as I looked at the living beings, behold, there was one wheel on the earth beside the living beings for each of the 4 of them. The appearances of the wheels and their workmanship was like sparkling beryl, and all 4 of them had the same form, their appearance and workmanship being as if one wheel were within another. Whenever they moved in any of their 4 directions without turning as they were moved. As for their rims, they were lofty and awesome, and the rims of all 4 of them were full of eyes round about. And whenever the living beings moved, the wheels moved with them, and whenever the living beings rose from the earth, the wheels rose also. Wherefore the Spirit was about to go, they would go in that direction, and the wheels rose close behind them, and the Spirit of the living beings was in the wheels. Yeah, you asked me to explain that. I won't even try. Ezekiel was seeing something. This is why the Bible says, no eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind has comprehended, or, what God has prepared for those who love him. We have no idea about the created entities of God. We're finite, we're on this earth, and there is going to be, no, it wasn't a vision, it was a real event. Ezekiel was allowed to see something that we cannot see. That's it. That's right, Ethan. That is right. Peggy, I can't really comment on that. Astral projection was something that came out of, if I remember correctly, John Denver was part of that crap, transcendental meditation and all that, which was real big in the 60s, 70s. I would avoid that. My pastor brought up, and I don't follow sports, but he mentioned somebody who's big out there called Jelly Roll. He claims to be a Christian, claims to have lost a lot of weight. But on an interview, he said, I'm a cussing Christian. There's nothing wrong with cussing. My pastor said in the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about current trends and say, what does the Word of God say about this? And we need that. We are the frog in the kettle. Yeah, Packy, I can't comment on that. I have my opinions about that stuff. But there's cultural issues that are so powerful today that we as Christians have compromised. We've gotten soft on things. We tolerate things. We tend to be more open about things than we did 50 years ago. I can tell you right now, I use profanity and it's wrong. The Bible says, let no unwholesome communication come out of your mouth. Cursing. James says, blessing and cursing out of the same mouth. This cannot be. It is not befitting for Christians to be throwing the F word and cussing. It's denigrating to our witness. It's denigrating to ourselves. Ethan well said. And it may be, Packy, it may be, hey, who won the Falcons 49ers game last night? Anybody know? I didn't even look. Did the Falcons lose? Oh, swearing is all around me, doggy. How are you, doggy? Hello, Colette. Thanks for coming in, Packy. You take care, man, and hang in there. And thank you for that. You too. Oh, they got stomped. Well, so much for my Falcons. Georgia just can't seem to get it together, ever. They made it to the Super Bowl, but had to play the Patriots years ago, and we knew what was going to happen with that. This stuff is addicting. Really, doggy. So the money was on both. What about Dallas? Who'd they play last night? We got a ton of Dallas Cowboy fans here in Georgia. Tons of Dallas Cowboy fans. This stuff, granola, basically glorified granola. Fly, eagles, fly up into the sky. Bum, 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 AI, YouTube artists. It's amazing what's happening. I'm done with Mark Dice. In fact, I need to unsub his channel. I'm going to say it again. There is an intoxicating feeling that comes when you become big on the internet. Your head gets big. I see this constantly with the young gals. I see this with Dice and others. And he was making comments about Israel. And I said, he's alluded to stuff, but last night he pretty much put his stake in the ground. I think we've all got Israel fatigue and, ethnic land disputes. I'm tired of it. Well, you don't know what you're talking about, Dice. You've got a pretty good shtick, but you're not an expert in everything. So how about if you refrain from that? And their arrogance becomes louder than their facts. Fact. YouTube artists get big. They get a following. And their arrogance becomes louder than their facts. That's not good. We have to stand on the truth. Do you, doggy? Don't be wasting all your money now. So who won on that, doggy? Washington or Washington Commanders? There is no Commanders. It's the Seattle Seahawks. Hi, Colette. How are you? I'm not going to be long today, but we have to be careful on the internet because there's a lot of people claiming a lot of stuff and it is not right. Channels become popular and Dice is doing it. Benny Johnson is doing it. They're sensationalizing the title of their videos. Hello, Johan. You guys all see that? You'll click it because of what the title says. You go, man, this isn't even true. They got videos, major disaster hits China, and it shows skyscrapers toppling on each other on the thumbnail. and you get in there and it's talking about a rainstorm and a flooded street. Why are they doing this? Hello, Wizdo. How are you? Why are they doing that? Why are they misrepresenting? Why are people lying and using drama and clickbait? Michael doesn't do that. Yeah, but the Seattle Seahawks are the Seattle Seahawks. When did they become the Commanders? Johan, you know what I'm talking about? You see that? Guys that I respect, and I'm going to start Xing them out of subs because we talk about liberal media. Well, your conservative media better not be doing the same thing they are. It's dishonest. To get more views, to clickbait people. No. Gentleman left a comment on my video the other day. I don't agree with your fashion style, but I will say this. You always tell the truth. You never lie. That is valuable today, folks. A good name. You got all kinds of YouTube artists. People say, oh, are you a content creator? I said, I don't create content. But you're on YouTube. Are you an influencer? No, I'm not. I have a channel on YouTube. I don't consider myself an influencer or a content creator. And here's why. I'm not creating content. I'm revealing what most people aren't paying attention to today. The truth. Am I an influencer, or is the Holy Spirit using what I say to influence? You be the judge. There's several moderators that have been affected because of this channel. Is that because of Michael? Or is that because of the Holy Spirit using the truth that I present here? You tell me. The Redskins got you. Oh, you're talking DC. See, I get screwed up on that. All my life, I thought the Washington Redskins were from Washington State. I get so confused on that. I agree, Johan, and what bothers me is he had a troll make a death threat, and the FBI was in right now. They don't do that if people troll and threaten us. Why does he get special privileges? Can we open up that discussion? I mean, I voted for Trump, but why does he get special privilege? Because he's loudmouth and out there. I think a psychophant is accurate. I think it's accurate. Hello, Witchy. How are you? You know what? I need to do the same thing, Colette. I think we all need to do that. Stop sensationalizing. Tell the truth. Paul Joseph Watson, he'll never interact with any of us, but he runs a good channel, especially about what's going on in the UK. I like to listen to him. But Johnson, I thought it was interesting. He was very vocal about the troll making a death threat. Dude, I've had this happen for years. The FBI doesn't swoop down and helicopter parent my channel. This is what makes me mad. The Chicago mayor is saying that we don't have a crime problem in Chicago. Oh, is that why you got 10 men surrounding you every time you're out in public? Got hypocrisy with all your bodyguards? Why don't you walk into that South area district and stroll through there unattended, dude? If your city's so good, then walk without an armed guards through the worst part of Chicago and tell me how it's doing, Bray. We need to call out the hypocrisy of all these people. And we need to be able to talk about channels that are making nothing but money And what are they really doing? You know, I like some of Benny's content, but you know what? Yeah, Chicago's a trash can, unless you're the Miracle Mile. How about YouTubers that just eat and make noise? You mean like me? Well, I think you should ban me. I think that I should be banned by you because that shouldn't be tolerated. Eating on a public forum like this should be totally, totally uncalled for. I'm messing with you, Matthew. Should not tolerate people sitting here rudely opening bags of goodies and crunching and munching. There's a guy in Colorado who did that. He went into the Boulder CU library with a cabbage, goes and sits next to students studying. I mean, that's funny. It's all spoof. I'm like, I would not do that. He even brings in a mini grill and starts cooking bacon in the library. Now that's funny stuff. Remember that kid named Fred? He did Fred videos. Is he even still around? Going to Walmart and do different things. What is ASMR? What are mukbangers? Oh, I got you. I haven't seen that, Matthew. Hello, Trump. Mukbangers. Colette, what is ASMR? Justice as knowing. I don't know the acronym. Gosh, there goes the alarm. People making weird sounds. I've been known to do that. I remember I was dating a black woman at Denver Public Schools, and there was a woman who had came on to me, a Mexican woman. Oh my gosh, she was a head case. She came on to me. I said, maybe we can go out to a movie or something. You know what? I'd like that, Mike. Next day, she did an about face. I stayed away from her. I'm like, she went up to the woman I was dating and said, you need to be careful about Mike. He doesn't know how to take no for an answer. He's made sexual noises in here. And she told me that when I was at her apartment one day. I said, sexual noises? I said, I walked in the break room a couple times and went, that's not a sexual noise. I did that because everybody knew I made that noise and some people thought it was funny. I said, you know, Pat is a mess. She dated a guy who moved in with her and then was having sex with her sister. So Pat's ability to discern and choose wise men is not working. And she came and moaned and fussed to me about all the hell she'd been through, and I felt sorry for her. I did not touch her. I didn't put my hands on her. I said, maybe we can hang out or something. And I said, and when I pulled away, and I remember I walked in the break room one day, I had my little tin of oysters, and I hadn't even opened it out of the little, cardboard wrappers in. You better not eat those nasty things in here. I said, I didn't eat them in here, and you need to mind your own business. Well, they stink. I said, I didn't open them in here. I've never opened them in here, Pat. Why don't you just calm down? Somebody else said he can eat whatever the fook he wants. Pat was a basket case. Lunch lady arms. I watched her age. Nobody's fighting to be with her now. And I hate that when people lie. So I asked the black gal, I said, so did you believe her? She goes, no, that lady that has the Muslim wear on, she was sitting by me and she looked right at Pat and said, you know, I don't know much about you, but I know Michael, and I believe what you're saying is a lie. I've never seen Michael make sexual noises, and Michael has shown himself to be a gentleman, and I don't believe you're telling the truth. And I would appreciate it if you stop. A Muslim woman defended me in the break room at Denver schools. Not an American woman, not a Mexican woman. I've had to learn some hard lessons in life, folks. Packet, wow. Why do they do that? Oh, I guess they do anything just to get views. Oh, now they're showing big, heavy women dropping into swimming pools and create a tidal wave when they hit the water. What is ASMR? I still don't know what that means. ASMR. Okay, this is toast. This is toast. This needs to be put away. Clean up my clutter. What is the world coming to, folks? And people, we do things for different reasons, but when you're doing things to get views like lying and sensationalizing, that's sad. That is sad. What is that? Oh. All right, folks. So the Falcons lost again. Kind of feel they do really good sometimes and then they fall apart. Man, I had to run my dehumidifier and had to empty the reservoir. It's amazing. Humidity's not high, but yet it was a little bit. And what is ASMR? There's a crowd for you're right. What was it? Somebody in the chat in this one of my videos one day was talking about an 85-year-old woman who's on OnlyFans, and the guys are all watching her undress and stuff. And I'm like, okay, how far desperate you got to be to get all turned on by an 80-year-old chick? I'm not understanding that. How did I forget my stuff? I am losing my mind up in here. Up in here. I have never seen an 85-year-old woman that I got a Woody over. That's just messed up. No offense to old age, but guess what? The day's going to come even for Michael here where nobody's going to desire me sexually. Ever. It just flat happens to the best and worst of us. And what really blows me away is that there are some people that can still get a hookup and there's nothing pretty about them. And that's not my opinion. I knew a woman years ago. She was so fat, she had rolls of fat hanging over. I mean, armpits that big around. She stunk because she didn't clean up underneath all those cavities. And she came to me years ago and said, you know, I had a boyfriend and we had sex and it was great. And then he never wanted to have sex with me again. And I could not help but thinking, who had sex with this woman? There truly is somebody for everybody. And I'm not being rude and insensitive. Cat scratch fever. Like whispering or slow movements. Popular because it provides a unique form of relaxation and stress for millions of people. It's popular, is driven by the soothing, tingling sensation triggered by specific sounds. Sleep assistant. You love your vids. Refers to content of videos that are designed to trigger a relaxing, tingling sensation known as autonomous sensory. I have never had a video produce a tingling sensation into me. Ted Nugent, cat scratch fever, nails down his chest. All right, time to fix my lunch. And then my breakfast. What are we doing? I need a baggie. I need to buy some more of these things. No, I run a simple channel. I don't have the studio. I don't have the suit and tie. I don't got any of that. I don't have a neon outline of my face like Benny Johnson does. They make caricatures of themselves and just blows my mind. It just blows my mind what people will go to great lengths to turn themselves into a marketable product. I mean, Mob made the AI ocean heart doll of myself, but I'm not going to go have those made up. I don't even know what that costs. I'd probably never recoup and sell enough to recoup the cost. And even though it was, this alarm is so stupid, I can't turn it off until I get done with the live. So it goes into sleep. All she wants to do is dance and make romance. So ASMR, I'm unfamiliar with that. I like music. And I'm sorry, the only time I have a tingling sensation is when I'm having an orgasm, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't get it any other way. People are funny. Let's see. Break fast. All she wants to do is dance. Was that a bass guitar that Henley used in that? That was some good, interesting guitar sounds in that piece of music. Wah, 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 wah. I can't even duplicate it with my mouth. It had some good vibes in that musical piece. But I'm tired of conservatives are now joining the bandwagon with sensational headlines for their videos, and you click on it, it'll say something like, "You won't believe what Trump just did." And you watch it, and they don't even talk about Trump. What is this? Clickbait. Some people like BBW. I'm not into that. Anthony, you're right. Absolutely right. And what can I say, you know? BBW. Big, beautiful woman. I'm glad you rate yourself high, but beauty is purely subjective. I can think I'm handsome, but other people would dispute that. I don't use the word handsome for myself. I just don't believe I'm ugly. I believe I've done well for almost 60. And I leave it at that. So, cheese is very important. It is always important. Oh boy, let me get this out of here. Like this stupid bag. Wow. Take 10 minutes to open it. Cheap stuff. hate plastic. Look at all this plastic I throw in the trash. The string cheese comes in a plastic bag, plastic things. Then this stuff ends up in the ocean, floating around like a state-sized raft of garbage. And they got a guy called the Beast who goes and picks it all up. I remember when I was at the Bay of Manila in 2018, Gloria, her brother, her niece and nephew, and her friend, her brother's girlfriend, Karen. Was it Karen? What was her name? And we were looking at it and said, what is all that? A big old mass of plastic. Flip-flops, tons of flip-flops. Plastic styrofoam boats from dinner, lunch, but tons of no matches. Thousands of these floating in the water in a big old mass. I said, that is just disgusting. She contacted me months after I left, the girlfriend of Gloria's brother. Michael, somebody must have heard you talking about the mess. She said, I noticed they said a group of people went down to the Bay of Manila to pull out the raft of floating trash and sandals and stuff. And I said, that's good. That's good to know. You see here, those Democrats that believe in global warming and preserving the environment, they're the ones that throw the trash out of their cars and tires and mattresses down the road down here. Democrats, anti-Trumpers, pro-Obama, they're the ones more likely to litter. Did you know that? Jesus Life Bridge, how are you? Yeah, but John, some are worse than others. I have no respect for people throwing garbage out of their cars. And that goes for these lazy smokers that go to Walmart, take their ashtray and dump it in the parking lot with all the butts. You are a butt. I hate smoking. I don't tolerate it. And almost everyone I know that smokes is a litter bug. They throw their butt anywhere they want. And I hate that. It's totally wrong. And you think about the collective, all the garbage that you throw on the ground. Butts loaded with nicotine. Hypodermic needles. Trash, whatever. And it rains. And your germs and your herpes and your disgusting whatever is coming off of that. And all the collective trash is running into the water system. I was shocked to find out that your city water, our city water, when you use the toilet, that all goes into a waste treatment facility. And they will actually separate the water out of that and treat it and put it back into the system. So congratulations, you're drinking toilet water. My question is, why are they doing that? It's interesting that chlorine is in our water, but chlorine can actually kill you if ingested directly. A lot of people complain about fluoride and how dangerous it is. Yeah, they were trying to do that here too. And I reuse them. I reuse them for lunch bags to take to work. And I reuse them as wastebasket liners. They don't fully fit over it, but I take it out every night. I don't buy garbage bags. Not like Pond. Let's play. Is there a hole in here? That was funny. Pond is a cute thing. There are so many cute girls here. Oh, I get so many of them, Colette, that I end up having to throw some away because it just gets too much. Too much. Okay, hopefully I didn't interrupt the stream. Turn that stupid thing off once and for all. I do recycle stuff. I learned when I was a kid. I'd walk home past these businesses at Mammoth and they'd see stuff sticking out of a dumpster. I'm like, whoa, what is that? I couldn't believe all the stuff I dragged home out of the trash. I found a giant cage one day and dragged it all the way home. I mean, it was a kennel cage. It had a door on it. I put it in the yard. My neighbors probably thought, man, that Nelson kid is a mess. What's he doing with a cage? I even built a lean-to. And I mean, that thing survived some winters. I took, 8-10 foot log lengths about this big, laid them out, built the front. Man, we had 15 feet of snow on that? I dug all the way down and crawled up underneath there. It's a wonder I didn't get caved in on the dumb stuff that I did. It was actually warm in there. I mean, it was cold, but you could generate some body heat because you were insulated all the way around. And I remember I had a friend named Darren, and he come over one day. I said, lock me in the cage. I grabbed a pair of pliers and a screwdriver. He goes, why are you bringing that in there? I said, so I can get out. He said, that's cheating. I said, look, I'm going to prove to you I can bust out of the cage. And I did. I took the whole door off. And then I put him in it, rolled him around the yard in the cage. The cage started to dent, the corners caved in, and he was laughing so hard. My mother, what is that? Why did you drag that home? Now it's all broken up. I said, because it was fun. Look, Mom, if you knew the stuff I had to go through as a bus driver, you would think I was tame as all get out. These kids are crazy today. They're shooting each other. I'm in middle school rolling my buddy around in a cage in the yard. That was awesome. It's just one of those wire cages. It wasn't the chain link kind. Hey, Bradley. Yep, they always did. That's why ships have what's called a poop deck. Because you poop and it goes straight down. They got ships doing that now. They showed a cargo ship with a toilet seat hanging out over the side of the boat. I'm like, wow, they still do that? I hate these things. You ever tried to get these dumb things apart? And I'm looking at this, and this ain't gonna happen at all. You know what? That can go in the fridge. I'm not even gonna play with that one. It's stupid. I don't got time for all that. I'll have to cut that thing open with the scissors. These things are a challenge for people like me. What's gonna happen when I get old? Oh, I'm already old. Cheese, man. Biracial cheese. I do not discriminate. But did you also know that even back in the days of the Titanic, They had a desalinization plant on board. That's pretty wild. I love cheese. Absolutely, Bex. I did an Epsom salt bath last night, which was awesome. I sat down in the tub, laid all the way down in there, and oh yeah, my muscles are sore. I know, Bridge, and it's ruining my life that, no, I said biracial cheese, not bisexual cheese. Bisexual cheese. Gay cheese. Now that's different. Bridge, I miss you. I miss you, honestly. The new job is a job. I like what I do, but it's work, like anything. And I'll have to tell you something privately that I can't share in a room. You're going to laugh when I tell you about it. But, oh my gosh! I know. We were just talking the other day. Where's Bridge? And I even sent another message to Jackie. You remember Jackie in Down Under? I'm just sad that she's not. She's been out. I'm gonna see something. That clown come out of there making all that noise every morning now. We got some punks in the neighborhood. They're adults. We think they're drug running. They were quiet, and they've gotten worse. One got a scat pack on his Charger and makes it a point to make as much noise as he can. Hey, Hesse. And his brother or relative or whatever got an ASAG Tahoe with the boom boom. They just clearly overcompensating for a little smoky syndrome. All of a sudden they feel the need to make noise every time they come and go. And at work, I was cleaning pallets that are in the aisle with parts on them, and there was a suitcase, what looked like a soft-sided suitcase, shaped different. I opened it up, and there's two hard plastic cases. I opened it up, and I said, well, look at this, spike strips. I said, boss, can I take these home? I got a couple boys I want to slow down in the neighborhood. I would not really do that. I mean, I would be in big trouble if I did, but oh, it'd be fun to hide behind the bushes and right when they come out, just sling those babies, pop, pop, pop. That'd be awesome. You ever notice that? There's always one butthole in the neighborhood that doesn't respect anybody else. We got mostly older people in here. They don't want to hear all that. E-Rock, how are you? Yeah, can we pray for Mr. E-Rock? Mr. E-Rock, only at your command will I discuss what you shared with me. But E-Rock needs some prayers for physical stuff right now. And it just bothers me because, you know, Mob had his struggle months and months ago. Y'all followed his story. He got the spinal leakage surgery. Took time to come down, he and his wife, and see me. He got back in the groove, got into a different position in his job, doing really well, likes what he does, getting 60-hour weeks. I lose my job, go through 2 months of hell, sold my dues, and the world waiting in on me. I literally was feeling like I didn't want to leave the house. Now I'm running into people from transportation out there in life. Mike, how are you? Where have you been? I'm like, what do you mean, where have I been? Y'all were told I was fired. No. Some people do not even know. They thought I quit. So this letter from the superintendent made it sound like everybody at transportation the workplace was disrupted by my video. And now E-Rock's going, I'm coming out of that. Nothing cures a lot of problems more than just getting a job. I mean, I'm like anybody else. If I had enough money and I didn't have to work again, I would just so love it. But I would not sit here. I'd leave Augusta. I would leave it. Saturday I was doing work. Bridge, look at this. I trimmed out the kitchen window. This was a job. This took me a few hours because I had uneven surfaces and stuff. And I trimmed it all out and I painted it red. I'm going to do a second coat. I'll darken it to match up top up there. But I like my trim work. It is not perfect, but it's pretty damn good. Neeks, you know what? I can't stay down there. I'm a man. I have to work and I'm disciplined. I mean, today I'd rather just have another day off, but you know what? I pull up my big boy pants and go to work. Thank you, Bridge. And I mowed the yard. I should be the last mow for the season. Pulled the weeds, did some raking, and I had my shirt off. It actually, they said it got up to 82, but I didn't get sunburned. There must have been a haze in the air or something, and it felt good. And I actually, Bridge, you'll be shocked. I stood in my front yard. I looked up at the sky, felt the breeze going through what's left of my hair. And I said, God, this is my home for now. And today I feel good to be in Augusta, Georgia. You know, that's a good place to get to, people. We can complain about Augusta. We can complain about the bullshit down here. But you know what? Look around. Look around you. Look at what's going on. It could be worse. And I stopped, there's a hymn. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings and see what God has done. And now we need to pray for E-Rock. He's a man devoted to his work and his wife. I've had the privilege of having a very lengthy discussion with him, both on Saturday evening and throughout the course of time. That man loves his wife. He's committed to his work. He's a good man. Yeah, the stones are awful and they're trying to pass. And when those try to pass, it is excruciating. We need to read up on stuff, E-Rock. See if the internet suggests any snake oil remedies that might help break them down faster. I don't know if that exists, but it's worth a look. Thank you, Colette. I did different. I got just a touch of green right by the fluorescent light. And I call it the Barnum and Bailey colors. The old circus trains were painted like that. Had the bright colors, Barnum and Bailey, Ringling Brothers. I like that. That was cool stuff. Gotta have a little color to offset all this wood. That's it, Johan. Bloom where you're planted. And I question, why am I here? Why am I here? My reach is not here. But watch this. Everybody will remember Augusta that watches this channel because they'll go, you know what? Mike doesn't feel like he's being used, but he's able to broadcast from his place and affecting people outside the area far and wide. So that's awesome. That's right, Colette. It is growing fast. I got a widow's peak like Eddie Munster. Everybody see the video that Neeks did of the Addams family? She's got a beautiful head of black hair. And I did a collab with her. And I wore all black. I said, that's cool. That was fun. Are you serious, Franny? Well, you know, E-Rock and I were talking about this. Carbonated beverages are very, very bad. They cause the stones. I love it. Neeks at the very end goes, da-da-da-dun, 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 da-da-da-dun. The kooky and the spooky. Oh. Have y'all seen the videos on Facebook? I'm not into Halloween, but it is kind of funny. They'll have the thing on the front porch, like a witch or a skeleton, and the deer comes up on the front porch, starts to sniff it, and they can control this thing in the house, and the thing goes, bah! And the deer jumps into the air and goes flying off the porch. Woo! Is that funny? The raccoons, oh my gosh, they're having fun scaring the animals. They had a hearse in somebody's front yard all lit up. They had a character sitting in the seat. These kids came up and said, that doesn't scare me. And the horn honked and the head went, bah! And the kids went running. That's funny. Wow. And you know, when you think of stones, they're not that big. I think of some big old pebble in there, and they're not. It's amazing how that can hurt. I would go down to Soul Bar and drink club soda. I used to drink mineral water constantly. I didn't know that, and that was years ago, and I stopped. I feel for E-Rock. I don't do well with pain. I had gout back in the day, and I take a tablet for that daily because I had too much uric acid in my body, and it's hereditary. People thought it was from alcohol or eating rich foods. It can also be hereditary. My big toe would swell up, and just a sheet touching it felt like a sledgehammer hit it. My knees, my ankles would swell up. I couldn't walk. The pain was unbelievable. Uric acid gets in the joint, swells up, and it feels like 10,000 needles poking you. I'm like, what is going on? And one of the things that they recommended you do not have is carbonated beverages. I'm like, wow. And I was drinking a lot of mineral water back in the day. And then I believed the lie that if you drank cherry juice, it would cure it. It didn't. So, Neeks, answer me this. Were you born in South Africa? And if so, where are your parents originally from? The UK? Yeah, I'm not a Halloween guy. When I became a Christian, I want nothing to do with it myself. Nobody trick-or-treats in this neighborhood because it's not safe. And that's just fine with me. Got you. Neeks, is it true they're trying to do ethnic cleansing, get rid of the whites? Is that correct? Because there's been discussion about that. Whites and Christians. Mystery Rock, that's funny. I always thought it'd be fun to buy an old hearse and have it tricked out, paint it gloss black, have crushed purple velour curtains down the sides, dark tinted windows, chrome rims with moon hubcaps, twin exhaust out the back, and get the biggest dang blown block engine you can get. And when you fire that thing up, it goes, oh my gosh, I would love that. Go through the drive-through. Yeah, 2 Happy Meals, please. 1 for me and for the stiff in the back. Your girlfriend's riding with you, laying in a coffin. Morticia, you can come out now. So how come we got videos where people came over here, 50 people came over here saying they were ran off of their properties and stuff? Chevelle? No, Nova actually made a wagon in the 60s, 70s. It was hot. I would love to have that car in a maroon wine red with the tinted glass. Oof. Dual straight pipes out the back. Got you. Yeah, I saw quite a bit of stuff on that. I believe Paul Joseph Watson and others were talking about it. Flying to the danger zone. Hey, in the 80s, I actually got a flat top a couple times, but it lasts about a week and that's it. I tried to grow a tail once. All right, Johan, let's play nice here. You can disagree, but let's be careful. Yeah, I heard that, Gabi. Hello, Diego. Diago. Bridge, how have you been? What's new in your world of Rhode Island life? You know, I saw that, Gabi. Hey, Jeffrey, I'm okay. How are you? Bridge, where are you? Did you leave me? If you leave me now, I will go and lay down, put my legs in the air, and have a cow moo. Rainy day in Canada. It was supposed to rain last night and it never happened. Cloudy all day. Couple of sprinklets and teasers, and that's it. A lot of blah BS. Mom is in the hospital. Ooh, that's not good. Bridge, where's Chanel and Irish Rose? They only came in when you were here. Ooh, liver failure. That's not good. You know, this is why I don't want to get old and have all these maladies. I'm going to tell you, we got too many old people that are sitting on death row. This fails, this fails. Like, God, why? I don't want to live with all that. I don't want to live anymore. And my liver fails. Just take me out the door. I can't live with my body falling apart. And no. If I can cease to be productive, put that helm on, finish with engines at last, take me off the bridge and take me home. I don't want to do this. I don't want to suffer in a nursing home and have some smart aleck, nearly teen girl saying, Michael, time to wipe your ass. Man, if I get a bad orderly, I'm going to poop all over her. I do not want to be in a nursing home. I don't know what's going to happen. 52. 52? Dang, she's younger than me. I haven't been on the interwebs too much lately. Well, I miss you, Bridge, as always. You ask that, Daddy. Listen in and you'll find out. Yes, it is. Hey, Lino, how are you? Am I an American? Yes, Daddy. Where are you from? What country are you from? Are you from Zanzibar? Are you from Egypt? Are you from Moscow? Are you from Paris? Are you from Tokyo or London or Uzbekistan? Are you from Turkey or Ethiopia or Zimbabwe or the Seychelles? The Canary Islands? How about that little speck in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean that is the most remote in the world? I want to live there. Give me internet, I'll be happy. Just give me internet, tell me I'm pretty, give me Wi-Fi and an island, and I will be happy. Oh, and send a mermaid my way from time to time. Pakistan, well, welcome, sir. Hope you enjoy the channel. They're not countries. I'm being funny. I'm naming places that are far from here. We've had New Zealand, Australia, UK, Russia. I don't think we've had anybody in here from China. We've had the Philippines. Nobody from Indonesia. Nobody from Thailand. We have Nepal in here with Meena. Meena! Yes, China borders Pakistan, Nepal, or does it no? I gotta remember, is Nepal up against Tibet? Tibet, China just took it over. That was wrong. Colette, did you see the thing they put in New York City where they've got it, I think, in the UK, and you can look at each other? And, you know, you could look in on London and London could look out on New York. I forgot what it was called. I don't even know if they still have it anymore. Mina's from Nepal, yes. Neeks, thanks for coming in. Always good to see you. Have an awesome day. You go to university, Daddy? Daddy Zaddy. And what are you studying in right now? You graduated, good for you. Who let the dogs out? What are you studying? What are you getting a degree in? I want to work for the Department of Assessing Blame. That would be a fun job to have. I can just point fingers all day long. You did it. You spent too much money. You need to be fired. A live feed from different major cities around the world. Mina, I just said your name and here you come. Mina, 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 Mina. Mina. Mina's got a bird friend. I think it's a crow that she talks to. It's so cute. It doesn't even take off. It's just walking and she's talking to it up on the roof of her apartment. I'm good. How are you? Mina. Could you all please pray for Teresa Bridge? Remember Teresa, the Filipina? Last video, September 25th. No activity on her YouTube. And I don't know what has happened. I'm concerned because she's an OFW in Dubai or UAE. And the Philippines has warned those people about serving in Dubai. They said, we'd rather you go to Hong Kong. UAE is not safe for Filipinos. Muslim is not a safe place for people that are not Muslim. She has to wear all that crap. No videos. She always comes in here with her little pink hands. I'm worried about her. What is the date today? What is the date? 21st? 22nd? No, the 19th was Friday. So it's what? 22nd? I don't even know. Yeah, that's cool, Mina. Nice to meet you, Daddy. Thanks for coming in. I like to meet people from around the world. And if you feel comfortable, subscribe and come on back. 20th. Oh, well, I'm way off. Thank you. I never wear a watch. I was a school bus driver. I do not and will not wear a watch ever again. I don't want to be bound by time. Mina! Yes, Daddy. Why am I calling you Daddy? That sounds so funny. Colette, in what way? We're endangered by Democrats, and they're not going away. They're just ridiculous. That No Kings March, I did a 3-minute video. What's wrong with love? Nothing. Mina, you crack me up. Oh, see, I don't believe a woman should have hair under their arms because I don't either. Clean and smooth, baby. I was not in the military, no. Daddy, look, I'm going to show you something. This was me a month ago. That was my hair before I got it cut. That's me at Finnissy Swamp here. It's a local place with alligators and snakes, and that's a bridge that goes over the swamp. Colette, I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm going to say something. If it does, the Democrats that are against guns and that support high crime and illegals, a lot of Republicans are armed pretty heavily. And if things were to get bad, I think they would lose terribly. At least that's what I would hope for. Daddy, we have liberals and we have conservatives, and the liberals are always complaining about us. But I think Trump's doing a good job with what he has to work with. Two of my friends got arrested. Why did they get arrested? Were they part of the No Kings March? Man, Trump never claimed to be a king. I mean, these guys are just stupid for doing that. Yeah, the news is ridiculous. It's not safe here. Somebody doesn't agree with you, you get shot in the face. That's not what this country was built on. Colette, you're in New Zealand, right? Yeah, your English is fine, Daddy. We've had 4 years of Democrats in control, Daddy. They allowed the illegals from Mexico, and because the Mexican border was open, people from other countries are pouring in, from China, Venezuela, drug traffickers, criminals. They said Venezuela emptied the prisons. I watched a video the other day. They emptied the prisons and said, go. And they cruised right on in to America. And Trump has tried to shut that down. No, they're hillbillies and they don't know what was going on. Got you, Franny. Sheesh. Stephanopoulos is a goon. He was a spokesman for Clinton. He was always a goober. And of course, he got hired, what is it? NBC? ABC. And then that Raggedy Ann Psaki, she was one of the worst, along with, what's that? She looked like a toilet brush. They even had a meme of her. They had her meme on the end of a toilet brush. What's the black woman that replaced Psaki? Both of them were the worst press secretaries, and both of them, Psaki was a smartass. She was just a middle school attitude biatch. She got hired in NBC. Boy, talk about favoritism. You want to uncover some crap in this country? Get down and do a study on who's been hired for the major networks. Not one Republican, not one Christian. They should be sued and shut down for racial and or ethnic and religious and or political discrimination. It says that on the job application. You're not supposed to do that. The Democrats do it all day long. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. We don't talk about weapons on here, Colette. I'm a little bit unaware of international affairs, but not a political situation inside America very much. You know, Daddy, America has some good things about it, but we just got a problem with liberalism. When they're in control, the crime goes up, and we've had more violent crime. And the liberals talk about gun control, but the fact is, the liberals are the ones dishing out the violent crime stats more than anybody else. And thank you for being respectful, Daddy. Please notice he's from Pakistan, and he has not been rude in here once. It's a reminder that we need to take everybody as an individual, because there's good and bad in every country. Yes, Daddy. Yeah, Lawrence, and the Democrats say, oh, he hasn't done anything since he's been in office. You know, when you got Rachel Maddow, and you had Joyless Reed, and you have Whoopi Goldberg, and Joy and Hochul in New York, and Whitmer in Michigan, and Gavin Newsom in California. I mean, talk about a ship of fools. I could do a better job than all of those people that I just mentioned. If I was governor of California, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'd learn real fast. I'd remove that ban on gas-powered automobiles. So we need to run the state. And we need to encourage the auto industry to be competitive to make better products instead of charging us the rip for something that doesn't work and constantly breaks. You want to save the environment, then stop having companies produce garbage, charging high rates for it, and you got to replace it every 2 days. Bob went and bought a refrigerator at Home Depot, and within 2 days it quit working. He went back to take it back within the 48-hour window, and the guy wanted to argue, and he said, I can't help it if you don't know mathematics, but if you look at the receipt here, they finally gave his money back, and he took his business to Circuit City and bought a Frigidaire. Nobody should have to go through this. I have to replace the blender motor on my truck. Of course, it goes out just before the temperature changes, and I had to drive the other day, and it won't switch over to defrost, so it only blows cold AC air. I'm going to say it again. What did we gain by technology? What did we gain? Headaches and cost. I had a 66 Ford truck in Colorado. 2 levers. You push them all the way to the right, you got your defrost. You push them in the middle, you got the floor heat. What happened to levers? Why do we have to turn the little knob that turns on something that goes to open a damper? Electric seats. You can't pull up the bar and slide your butt back and forth. Maybe you need some practice with that because you're this big and you got to have an electric seat. You need an ejection seat. Electric mirrors, heated seats. Yeah, you can watch YouTube on your console and not pay attention to the semi-truck about to smash into you. We live in a dumb world. Go buy that $80,000 Silverado. Have fun with that mortgage payment. Thank you, NorCal. Daddy, I think America needs to be more nationalistic. We need to kick the UN out. If I was president, I'd make a motion for that. I'd say, get these people out of my country. I shouldn't say mine. Get them out of our country. We're not under the UN. We're under American sovereignty, and we'll do what we need to do. And yes, I would pull our base out of Okinawa. I'd pull it out of Germany and say, we're done. We're going to manage our country. And we send our troops down the border. You cross that border, you're going to get shot. Michael, that's so severe. Go tell Iran and China that. Go walk over the border in Iran and watch what happens. You'll look like a watering can, fool. I'm tired of this. We got to read some idiot their rights. He didn't read my Miranda rights. I get off. We need to get rid of all these attorneys because they're all Democrats. Don't believe me? Start doing a poll. They love a lawsuit society. We live in a right-to-work state. You think you could just walk into a room and say you're fired? You cannot do that. Even though you can do that. Now you have to have documentation, because if you have a black woman or black man acting up, all they have to do is say racism. Now you got a lawsuit and the company stiffed millions of dollars. So they're afraid of them. And they're bowing to them. And they're letting them walk into work late. They're letting them do no-call, no-shows. And they come in 3 days later acting like nothing happened. Let a white guy do that, you're done. We know what's going on in this country. The Democrats created this lovely little mess. It's ridiculous. That's right, Bridge. Yeah, Daddy, I don't like what Russia and China are doing. And I lived in Hong Kong, and I loved Asian culture, but I don't like China. And I don't have high regards for Xi Jinping. I don't like the CCP. It is hypocrisy. Xi Jinping and the communist leaders get to live high on the hog. They're no different than Amway. Get all these suckers underneath them to believe the communist lie while they suffer and struggle and live on peasants' wages. Same thing with Hitler, same thing with clown up in North Korea and clown Democrats. Clown Democrats always talk about socialism. Go look at the bank accounts of these leading Democrats and tell me what they have in common with socialism. They're greedy ass capitalist pigs that want to control all the wealth for themselves, and they want to own everything and tell you you won't own anything and you'll be happy. The Democrats are a cancer in our midst. They like to use the words systemic and pandemic, and they are systemically infected, and it's a toxic disease to this country and the health of it. Yes, Donnie, I agree. Yeah, well, China, if they have their way, they would own you, Daddy. Don't ever trust China. They're expansionists, and they will dominate. They're making the Silk Highways down into Africa. I have a friend in Zambia. She said, I cannot stand the Chinese, Michael. They set up businesses here, and they're rude to the locals. They're all about the money, and they're very rude. You know, we can talk about Chinatown in San Francisco. I lived in Hong Kong. I saw the way the Chinese operate. They're geared towards money. I don't want to go to Hong Kong again. Hong Kong's lost a lot of its freedom. It's becoming under the communist power fist again. My friend who taught English in Guangzhou for 6 years said Hong Kong has totally changed from when you were there, Mike. He said it's not fun. 5 o'clock, everything rolls up. I said, what? I said, that city went 24. He goes, not anymore. Not anymore. No, now Hong Kong's not communist, but it was the SAR, the Special Administrative Region, but China's reneging on that. They were going to let it go for 50 years. In 2019, they announced anybody commits a crime in Hong Kong, they'll be tried in Beijing or Shanghai. And the people said, no, we're Hong Kong. And China said, no, you're China. And they protested in the streets. And China put their fist down. Yeah, but anytime you're a dependent, Daddy, you're in danger. America did a bunch of stupid things. We had China buy up our debt. Now, who came up with that brilliant idea? China's been allowed to come over here and buy land. Who came up with the idea that people that are not citizens of this country can own real estate? Over my dead body. If I was president, I'd say only Americans can own land. Number one. Number two, we're going to go after these slumlords buying up all these old houses. No more. We're going to find out who you are, and you will be mandated to sell off those properties. We are going to make individual homeownership a premium in this country. We want people to own a piece of America, and when you stop taxing the hell out of them, when you get old, you shouldn't have taxes. You've already paid your dues. Go get your taxes from frivolous things like cigarettes, alcohol, and ridiculous SUVs. You can make plenty of money off of that because people have to have that stuff. Tax the hell out of pot. You want to legalize drugs? Put a 99% tax on marijuana. Boom. Tax the hell out of it. People would not like me in charge. I'd say we worry about guns. If you look at these stupid drivers, you get caught texting and driving, you lose your license. You get caught with a DUI, you lose your license, and you cannot get it back. And we take your car, and we sell it, and you will pay the bank, not us, for the loan. And we'll put the money back in the police force. Great idea. Punish people for their sins. When you riot in this country, we roll the tanks in the streets and we go boom, and we drop them like it's hot. I support that. You want to riot and tear things up, you will be shot and dropped. No Miranda rights, no court. It's over. It's over. And what can you do? You think I'm harsh? We got to stop playing footsie with fools. Drop them. Go riot in China and watch how far you get. Go riot in downtown Tehran. But Michael, this is a democracy. No, it's a republic, fool. And the Bible talks about submit to the governing authorities. For if you submit to the governing authorities, you don't need to fear the sword. America needs a sword. These black people running around stealing TVs needs to be stopped. You don't agree with what happened with George Floyd? You do not have the right to tear up American streets. You let the courts and the justice play out. And I would also say, I want to know why the Democrats are not being prosecuted. That's going to change today. Prosecuted and jailed. What happened to P. Diddy? What happened to Maxine Griswold? She screwed a teen girl, part of Epstein's Island. I would have walked in there and said, you better pony up the names of these people or we're going to put you on death row. Mike, that's harsh. Good. Did you see the teenage boy that was going 100 miles an hour in a residential neighborhood and hit a $450,000 house so hard that the entire end of the house collapsed? The girl survived and he survived. I said he should go to prison for life. Some idiot said, that's pretty harsh. I said, really? What if there had been a kid sleeping in that bedroom? No, it ain't harsh. Send a message to the morons in America that thinks freedom means they can do whatever they want. And these lame-ass police forces that let people make their boom-boom noise. You will not have a stereo like that in your car again. The car is not your personal frickin' club. When you drive, you need to pay attention to driving. Not urban warfare has been created by blacks and bad whites with their noise so loud that people who pay taxes on their homes are being assaulted by that, and that crap needs to stop. Or give me a remote control that I can point at the vehicle and the speakers go, I would use it every time. I wonder how many times they'd replaced the crap before they finally woke up. I'm sick of the stuff that goes on in this country. We have no rights. Honest, hardworking citizens get taken down every time. You're afraid of gangs, you're afraid of blacks, you're afraid of Democrats, and it shows. The police are not police anymore. They're being policed. And it's ridiculous. And when you do got to deal with a cop, they're arrogant, they're buttholes to people that aren't even the problem. Look at the gay cops in London dancing with all the gays in the street during Pride and then going up and arresting people for something they said on the internet. Have you seen what's going on in London? That ought to scare everybody in this country because it's coming soon to a theater right here. Let these Muslims in. Look what they're doing to Dearborn, Michigan. 5 o'clock in the morning. Give me a gun, I'll shoot that loudspeaker. Bye, Felicia. This is not an Islamic nation. Get it out of here. I believe in the freedom of religion, but we need a caveat. We need an addendum to the Constitution. Islam will not be allowed to build mosques in America because of one simple reason. They don't allow us to build Christian churches in their country. Get them out of here. This is not a Muslim state. Sharia law doesn't belong here. Miss Ilhan Omar has no business in politics with her rabble-rousing crap. Ooh, don't make me a leader. I will change the driving in this country and say it is a privilege. You drive like a fool, you lose your car, you lose your license, get on the bus, Gus. We need to come back to sanity in this country. And I would tell people you have a right to defend your house and your property. Somebody comes up into your yard stealing stuff, you got a right to take the law into your hands. Now, if it's a 5-year-old child, you don't have the right to shoot the kid. Telling people that they can't arm themselves. Telling people they can't defend their property. Oh, so you call the police when somebody walks out of your yard with something. F that. Don't get me started. This country needs an enema. Yeah, Islam does not mix with freedom. Islam does not mix with freedom. And that mosque in Dearborn should be torn down. And you got a mayor in Dearborn who's a Muslim who's telling a white guy he's not welcome in his own town. Islam, you're not welcome here. This is our country, not yours. You left your shitty Islamic state to come here. Don't bring that shit over here. You can enjoy Taco Bell. You can go to KFC. You can enjoy the finer elements of America. Leave Islam back where you left it. Go to Taco Bell. Eat a taco and sit on the toilet for 8 hours. Nope, the police are worthless in this country. They speed, they don't use turn signals, they don't know how to drive, and then they're pulling people over for traffic infractions. That's funny. Our politicians are wieners. They do whatever they want. They vote themselves. Who and why is Trump, and nobody's stopping that? Where are the term limits for these clowns? We're still not talking about that. No more than 2 terms. 4 years piece. That's it. And you don't get 175,000 a year work on Capitol Hill. No more. 50,000. That's it. I can live on less than 50,000. You can do it. Mike, Washington's expensive. Well, bring the prices down, people. Not my problem. Live within your means, Democrats. I'm tired of you screwing the pooch. My taxes are going up to fund your sorry asses. And I'm sick of it. My school taxes went up when I just got fired from that godforsaken district. I don't have kids. I shouldn't have to pay for these schools teaching godless evolution and critical race theory and allowing the blacks to raise hell. I should not be charged a dime for that. The blacks should be making reparations to us for all of the damage they've done to the real estate since the civil rights, which far exceeds any monies that anybody owed them for the slave days. Because there was only this many slaves, and now there's this many blacks creating this much damage. Hello. Are we getting the picture? Yeah, let's talk about reparations. And let's kick some back to us Irish, because we were slaves too. Huh? Yeah, these people are a joke. Democrats are liars, they're idiots, and they're full of beans. I feel much better now. The venting of the spleen. Hello, Nellie. Wow, Daddy, thank you. You see it. We believe in the freedom of religion. I don't agree with Islam. But Islam will not let us build a Christian church in their country, but they demand Sharia law. Texas just passed a law that Sharia law is not allowed. We shouldn't even have to have that. We shouldn't even have to have that. I'm a Christian. I believe in Christianity. Okay? But I'm not going to start a church in this country and be at 5 o'clock in the morning, praise God from whom all blessings flow. You're not going to make good neighbors with that. And you got a mosque in there doing those devilish, demonic prayer calls. No thanks. All that makes me want to do is find a way to disable that speaker real quick. Something involving a ladder, climbing up on top of that thing and ripping it off them. whatever it's on would be a good start. There's noise ordinances. They even brought it up. The city said they're guilty of violating a noise ordinance. Does the mayor care? No, because the mayor's Muslim. We punish the people that pay their taxes. We allow the hood rats to control a neighborhood and boom, boom. And I want to go boom, boom. There goes 2 speakers. Come through here at 80 miles an hour, I'll get 2 tires. Boom, boom. Next time it'll be 4. Sick of y'all ghetto pieces of shit. Sick of y'all. Y'all talk about respect. Show some fucking respect to people paying a tax for your sorry ass to have a pimpy ride with stupid rims with the ass sagging all the way down. You're a sorry piece of crap. Drug running pieces of fecal matter. Gotta make all your noise because you got a 2-inch smoky. I never see you with girlfriends. Never. Nobody wants to date that trash. There's more of us than you, by the way. So shut your mouth. Let's do it, Franny. You got any cat suits? I'll put the little furry cat ears on and say, I'm a furry. Wee! We'll do Pokemon. We'll do you can dress as Pikachu. I'll dress as a cat. We'll scamper under the roof. We're not people. We didn't break any laws. We're animals. Animals can run wherever they want. But you took the bullhorn off of there. Yes. It's causing PTSD in my catness. Let's play by their rules. Let's do this. Here, I'll wear my seductive shirts. I'm a cross-dresser, and that's offensive to me. I got rights. I'll bet you I could pull that and win. They do it all the time, right? Hi, Chris. I'm on a thread. You should know that. Don't be a kid about it. Man, this Muslim stuff gets me so mad. I gotta go. I had fun venting my spleen. I love America, but we need to stop this foolishness. The cops here said that they can make as much noise they want till 11 o'clock at night. Hello, we're paying our taxes, we work. So this, scat that runs through the neighborhood and all they're contributing to America is shit. They get more rights than us? This is why people are sick of the law. This is why people don't respect the police and the justice system, because it's whacked. It is in favor of Democrats, lawless, and blacks crying racism while they destroy this country. Let me say that again, while they destroy this country. Listen to the radio stations. Look at their lifestyles. Look at Cardi B. Great stuff, right? Not. Man, we need to talk about this stuff. And I don't give a shit if everybody in trashportation is offended by what I said about the black community. It's the damn truth. I'm not the one saying the N-word. You alls are. I'm not the one singing the N-word. You alls are. I'm not the one tearing up the neighborhood. You alls are. Shoot, most black people don't keep their property or house as clean as me and don't prove it. Or pay their bills. Or keep their credit sound. Okay, yeah, they're going to talk about us. Today, class, we're going to learn about situational ethics. Don't cut your hair. Put that thing in a big old knot. Have it down to your butt. And I'll take the other end of it and I'll smack anybody that says anything against you. Yes, we have black Americans, but we have a lot of blacks that play victim and play race card, and they're dishing out most of the crime stats in America, killing their own. And we're going to get off of that. I got to go. Got my blood pressure all up on a Monday. That's awesome. I'm going to go to work. Yeah, boss, I'm ready to go. Let's fight. Come on. Give me that work, baby. Oh, yeah. Let's do it. I'm almost 60. on now. Come on. All the haters in the house now. Come on now. Come on now. You can laugh at me. You can pick on me. But guess what? I still keep coming back. Yes. I don't want to pay for their Twinkies and processed food. That's right. Remember the black woman that sued McDonald's because her son got fat? She gave him money to go to McD's every day, and that was McDonald's fault. Selena! We have fun on this channel. You never know what to expect. I don't even have time to masturbate before I go to work, so I gotta go, folks. It's been fun. It's been real. We keep it real. I'm a Christian, still struggling. God's not done with me yet, but we preach the truth. We speak the truth. This is not my ministry. This is my channel. I talk about the truth, and the truth impacts people for the glory of God. Okay? This isn't about me. God uses me with all my brokenness, all my fucked upness. And you know what's really awesome? This is why people join the channel. This is why people want to listen. Because you're not going to get it anywhere else. You're not going to get it with Crowder. You're not going to get it with Dice. You're not going to get it with Paul Joseph Watson. You're not going to get it with those big name, big money channels. This is real. Because God gives me the ability to speak and to say it like it is. Use some lotion. You want me to get naked and I'll slather it all over my body in front of everybody? Nope, can't do that. I'm going to buy a pair of Spidey Tidies, and I'm going to take all this stuff off, and I'm going to get on here one day to all these little clowns that say I'm woke. I'm going to take off all my clothes, and I'm going to show it all in my undies. I think that'd be fun. Anybody ready for that? Anybody ready for that? E-Rock's probably over there. He's probably going, Mike, stop it. You're hurting me. I'm laughing and it's hurting my gut. No baby oil. Nope, I don't do baby oil. I'm not P. Diddy. Spider-Man sounds wild. Yeah, show this to your wife. She'll get a kick out of this. She'll be laughing so hard the whole bed will be shaking tonight. Colette, whatever. I just did it for fun. I'm not doing it to make, it's to make a point. Get my Spidey Tidies, put my little cape on. I'm tired of the government. I'm going to fight back. Gotta go. Be safe. Keep it stayed here. We'll be back, God willing.